Hello, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm on the canal again, but not the Manchester, Bolton and Bury canal. This time I'm at the birthplace of all the canals in England. It's considered the first industrial canal in the country. This is the Bridgewater Canal and I'm at Worsley in Salford. We're going to have a walk around the area. I'm going to show you a few interesting features of the area. Like this white building here behind me is known as the nailmaker's house. I wonder if you can guess why it's called the nailmaker's house. Obviously back in the 1700s when the canal was opened, there was a person there who made nails. It's been used as a reading room, a library, it's been a private house, and I believe it's still a private house to this day. So there is more of a reason why I've come to this area. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you something. To my right hand side, if you look there, there's a tunnel. One that's infilled with rock and then a small tunnel to the right hand side. We're going to have a walk up there and I'm going to show you just a little bit of the features. So as you can see, there's a little area here with what looks like stone benches in the shape of boats. So these are a representation of the boats that were used here. Here we've got this information board. So it says here several types of boats were used in various operations in the Delph until its closure in 1968. The larger mine boats were taken direct to customers, but some of the smaller mining boats may have had their cargo transferred to other boats. Maintenance work and building materials were likely to have been used in smaller craft. So I'll just show you some of the pictures that are on here. So here, the representation of a canal boat. When I get round the other side, there is something that I do need to show you about the boats that were used in this area. They were very unique. And if you look at the smaller tunnel just there, so there's a bit of flow on the water's going under. That is the entrance to round about 50 miles of underground mine works. When we get round there, I will show you what's left of the area and we'll explore it all together. So I've now crossed over the road. I'm going to show you this area, which is called Worsley Delph. And as you look, there are representations of boats. These boats were unique to the Bridgewater Canal. The name is a starvation boat, and the starvation boats went directly into the mines, which are behind that big rock face over there. So it is a very picturesque part of Salford. Now I'm going to show you the name, Worsley Delph. Now as we go down these steps to this viewing area, you can see it says Dixon Green, Brackley, Buckley Lane, Ashton's Field, Fan Pit, Little Hulton, Ellesmere, Walkden, over here Moseley Common, heading up to Worsley. So if I look back up the steps, those names are the names of local pits. So they're old mines that were used in this area. Here they've made like public sculptures, pieces of art. Here we've got representation of a shovel and an old miner's helmet. So over there in the corner is the other side of that tunnel that I was showing you before. Here you've got a miner's lamp, representation of an old newspaper that says "Mine at Worsley finally closes." Here we've got a tunnel, which I do know, if I can move into a better position, if you can see those holes that are cut out into the side of the rock at the side of the tunnel, you can actually get inside there, but I won't be doing that today. Here there's an old winching gear. There's another entrance inside over there. So here we've got some information about the Delph. Yeah, so that one there, what I'm now showing in the shot, is to do with the entrances that are inside the bridge in the tunnel going under the road. They were people's homes at one time. So I'm going to head back up these steps. There's another sculpture piece of art that I want to show you. Very interesting one, this. Here is a representation of an old minecart with inscriptions on them and drawings. If you look here, here's one with the minecart with people. These are children. Children as young as 5 years old were employed in the mine. Some of them were down there for 12 hours a day. If you look here, this here would have gone around the waist of a child. They would have pulled it from one side and another child would have pushed it from the other side. Backbreaking, excruciating work, even for a grown person, let alone a child of 5 years old. So now, hopefully, if the gate's unlocked, I'm going to head down towards the mine area, and I believe it's actually locked. We can't get down to it today. Yes, the padlock on it, I will show you. Yes, so if you look into the centre of the shot, there's that piece of artwork, if you want to call it. That's a representation of the old drill that was used. And what I'll do is I'll move around the other side and I will show you the entrances into the old mine workings. And then we'll head back onto the other side of the canal where we started, and I will show you a few interesting features on that side of the canal as well. Here, as we walk along, some more art sculptures. Here, this is a representation of the canal, and this is a copy of the Act that was signed by then King George II, which gave power to start the works for the canal. So I'm just going to head on top of where that bridge was, what I shown you earlier on. I'm going to look into the Delph. and more importantly to the mine entrance. So if you look there in the centre of shot now, there's like a footbridge over the canal. Behind there there's some undergrowth. Now that is one mine entrance. As we move along, this is called Worsley Delph Island, with the representation of the drill. And on the other side you've got the wooden structure like a sluice gate with a winding mechanism on it, and if you look behind that there's a gate. That is another entrance or stroke exit from the canal. I believe it was one-way traffic on the system, so they used one side, probably that side, to go in, and this other side was to come out. So we're going to head back. Just up here now I passed something on the way, so I'm going to show you what this plaque says. So this plaque, presented by Worsley Urban District Council, commemorates the opening of the Bridgewater Canal from Worsley to Stretford, July the 17th, 1761, and records that the canal was planned and constructed by Francis Egerton, the 3rd Duke of Bridgewater, John Gilbert and James Brindley. And this plaque was dedicated on July the 16th, 1961. Now James Brindley, very famous canal builder, engineer. He is most famous for the Bridgewater Canal, and there's still one of his structures on the Bridgewater Canal down near the Trafford Centre in Manchester that is still in operation to this day. It's an aqueduct which goes over the River Irwell and the Manchester Ship Canal. So there's a canal over a river and a working canal still. So we're going to have a look down now. This is this side, so you can see the signs in the water. So it says Worsley Delph, private access, basin not navigable. So it is very shallow, and they obviously don't want any narrow boats coming down here and running aground. So as we head back down here now, the white building on the right hand side is the old nail maker's house, as I believe now it is a private residence. So I'm going to walk down this walkway now that takes me back down to the Bridgewater Canal. So as I've already told you, the canal opened on the 17th of July 1761. It's the first true industrial canal in England. When this canal opened, it caused what they called canal mania at the time. Canals sprung up all over the country because of the success of this canal. It was designed by James Brindley, who I've already mentioned, for the 3rd Duke of Bridgewater, Francis Egerton. Francis Egerton owned the mines here at Worsley Delph, and within not long of the canal opening, the canal originally run from here at the Delph to Manchester, and then from not long after the canal opened, the cost of coal in Manchester was reduced by half. That's how successful this canal was. So it was still in use for a very, very long time. So what I'm going to do is just show you this side. So that's where I was stood before, up there next to the red telephone box. In 1776, the canal was extended to Runcorn, allowing access to the River Mersey and the port of Liverpool. Where I'm stood here, you can see there's a bit of a basin. Towards the right hand side is Lee, the township of Lee. Towards the left is Manchester. The Lee branch was opened in 1821, which then gave the Bridgewater Canal access to the Leeds-Liverpool Canal, heading the other way. So they had access from the Irish Sea all the way through to Leeds now because of using this canal. The canal closed to commercial traffic in 1974, and it's now part of what they call the Cheshire Ring, which is for leisure boating and walking. So here in the centre of the shop now, there's a bridge. This is known locally as the Alphabet Bridge. So as I head up, coming from this side, you look on the floor, Z, Y, X, yes, you can see why. It's 26 planks, that's why it's called the Alphabet Bridge. And there's a bit of an urban myth that it was to do with when Duke of Bridgewater's wife came up to the area, she didn't realise how uneducated the children were at the time, so it was designed to help them with the language and the reading skills, which, if it's true, it's amazing. I don't actually know if it is true, but it is a good thing. So we're going to have a look down there now. That is the route towards Manchester. And as I come round on this side, you've got the Tudor style house. This building here, the brick house, behind this wall and the railings, this was what was known as the packet house. The packet house was where wealthier people of the time could get on a boat here and go down to Manchester for a couple of pence. So in the late 1700s, it was a great adventure to come in here, pay your 2 pence, the old 2 pence before decimalisation, get on a boat and head down to Manchester. I believe it used to take around 2.5 hours to get into Manchester from here. In fact, here now there is information about the packet house. So it's 1769, fast, cheap and comfortable travel. And packet house passengers embarked at the boat steps for the 2.5 journey into Manchester, 2.5 hour journey into Manchester. There is the prices: best cabin 2 pence, steerage 1 pence, return best cabin 3 pence and steerage 2 pence. There's a bit of information about the Alphabet Bridge. And just over the Alphabet Bridge is Worsley's oldest surviving building, the Nailmaker's Workshop, which is thought to date from about 1725, which predates the canal. Over there, Worsley New Hall, 1851, the first Earl of Ellesmere built a special landing stage near Worsley New Hall, which housed a specially commissioned royal barge for the visit. So over there, that was built just for the visit of Queen Victoria. So I'm going to head up here now, because there's not only the canal in this area, there are other interesting things. We're going to head up onto the main road. This entire area grew rich because of the canal. This canal helped the entire area, and you can see how it is still to this day in 2026. So I'm going to give you a view now over there. Absolutely amazing views. So over on the opposite side of the road, more Tudor style buildings. Very nice area this. You wouldn't actually think you was in Salford, part of Greater Manchester. You think you was somewhere else in the UK. But no, I can 100% say we're in Salford, Worsley in fact. It's full of little independent businesses around here, some of which Yeah, they've been running for years. Little coffee shops, salons, I know there's bars, places to get something to eat. So I'm just going to head down onto the Bridgewater Canal here now, going from the other side, which I'll show you. So up there in the distance, pedestrian bridge going over the canal. Nice piece of artwork here representing some ducks on the canal, feeding. Yeah, very nice. There you go, nice boat there. We're going to have a walk along the towpath, short walk, towards the Lee branch. What I'll do there is just show you a view down towards Manchester. So this is still classed as a fully working canal, but it's not, because there was a breach last year. So part of the canal is actually dry at the moment. I've no idea when it will be repaired. So through traffic for boats can't happen completely at the moment. So I'm going to give you a view of the canal onto the other bank. Imagine waking up and having that as your view every morning. There's a view of the Packet House and the Tudor style front. Yeah, it's very, very nice round here. The different branches there going towards the Delph. So that there was actually the viewing platform that Queen Victoria stood on, the steps down to the canal with the wooden bollards. It's now part of someone's private garden. A little more in there on the water. So we're heading up here now. We've come to Worsley Bridge. I don't know if you can see that there, but that's Worsley Bridge. Now we're heading under. So I'm just heading up along the lee arm. There is something that I want to show you up here. So just here on the right hand side, there's a bit of an overflow that comes directly into the canal. So I think I have shown you on a previous video on the Manchester Bolton Bury Canal of where the canal narrows down and they put something in called a cofferdam. So I'm going to show you just here where it narrows down. And there is a cofferdam here against the side. So I'll show you. You've got the notch there. So there's the notch. Here we have a crane. So this crane is designed to lift the cofferdam up into place. Here is the cofferdam that goes across the canal. It's quite a sizable piece of equipment. So there it is. That is lifted up by this crane. So it's lifted up, put by the crane and put across the canal, as I've just shown you, into the two notches there. So there's one there. It's a little bit overgrown, but there is one on the other side as well. So we're going to head back down now. So, as you can probably agree, this place is absolutely stunning. And the best thing about it, it's free to come down. Have a walk around here yourself if you're in the area. You come down on a nice day like I've done. It's lovely and sunny. It's very busy. There's people around here on bikes, there's people running, there's people out walking the dogs. Lovely place to spend an afternoon on a sunny day. So rather than go back under the bridge, I'm going to come up these steps here. It'll bring me back up onto the main road on the same side as all the businesses. So I'm here now, back on the main road. Over that side, Bridgewater, bridge in the distance, entrance to the Delph. Yeah, very nice area. I recommend anyone to come here. Just read the information boards. You'll learn things that you didn't know about, especially about the history of the canals in England. It's like how this is the first true industrial canal in the country, which, think about, this is the birthplace of canals in England as we know it. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please like, comment, subscribe, give me some hype points if you really want to. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.